Oh, the belt. Yes, the belt. 48.5 hot dogs in 10 minutes. What is going down? Welcome to Respect the Chain. I am Sammy Goldberg. We got a great show for you today. First of all, we got Nick Wehry here, and we got Miki Sudo, who has won the Nathan's Hot Dog Challenge 7 times, 7 years in a row, and now holds the world championship for the most hot dogs at 48.5. That's amazing. Wait, that's the belt? Can we see that belt?
Yeah, got 6 more to match.
Whoa.
So,
What's it feel like to hold that belt?
it's a hefty piece of hardware.
I like that. You know, I would wear that belt everywhere I went. Are you wearing that out constantly?
I have for fun. Yeah, I might have to do that more frequently.
What goes into the prep for the challenges?
I guess specifically for the Nathan's Famous Hot Dog Eating Contest, we both like to stay in shape. And that's one of the foods where, at least for me, mimicking contest conditions and practicing with the food is pretty instrumental in doing well at the table. So we just lined up 10 minutes worth of hot dogs and
I saw those videos. I kept the practice videos. They were a lot of fun. They were fun to watch. I'm sure that's got to take like a toll though. Leading up to it, are you saying like 5 days before we stop eating the hot? Like at what point in a competition do you stop eating before you go into it?
So for us, it's 5 days out. I think was our last practice, the Monday before. Then your body can kind of recover. You can work on getting maybe a little bit leaner going into the contest, so you feel better. And you have that flavor back to try to annihilate as many hot dogs as you can in those 10 minutes.
If I eat a hamburger 2 days in a row, I'm like, enough already with the hamburger. I gotta eat something else. So I mean, it's hard to continue to do this. What actually goes through your minds during those 10 minutes? Because you're watching on TV, and everybody's just seeing you guys eat the hot dogs. Like, what's going through your actual head?
This year, I felt like I was running out of time. And that's when I know that, I'm in a good place. At least I'm not filling up. So yeah, just make the most of the time. Don't stop eating. Stay ahead of the competition. I guess those are the things that,
are you getting
for the most part, I just kind of zone out and focus on what I'm doing.
Is it almost like a mile high? I know when you go running, people get a mile high. Are you feeling like you just don't know what's happening at the moment? You're just eating and eating and eating, and it's just whatever's happening happens.
That's probably a good run.
When things are going smoothly, yes.
If you're noticing, it's either typically George Shea or Sam Barclay, or that'll be our MC. If you're hearing a lot of what they're saying or noticing a lot of the other competitors, you're probably paying too much attention to what's going on around you, and you're going half the speed of smell. Because there are times when you feel like you're just towing an anchor, and you just can't get into the zone. Just like anything else. The good times, I think, are when all of a sudden you hear 2 minutes and you realize 8 minutes has passed. You've probably been pretty efficient at that point. When you hear, 3 minutes down, sometimes you just think, there's 7 more minutes of this?
Exactly. That's what's crazy to me.
So just trying to really get into where you need to be, in that mental zone to where it's like, I'm only paying attention to what I'm doing, and then maybe the occasional timestamp to know what's coming up.
What was it like this year competing at Nathan's with no crowds and social distancing?
It was definitely different. We were just super, super thankful to Nathan's, ESPN, Major League Eating for tying everything together and having this come together in a few weeks. But going from having literally thousands of people screaming for you or at you or against you while you're on stage, you feed off of that. It's almost impossible not to. You can get goosebumps just thinking about jogging up those stairs, knowing that's our Super Bowl. That's real deal. So not having that was strange going in. The plexiglass dividers were kind of nice because there's no cast off or anything going side to side depending on who you're eating against.
It clearly marked off our territory, so I didn't have to fight for space.
You're not messing with other people's cups.
And personally, it was the first time that the women's contest was going to be broadcast in its entirety, not just highlights, but the full 10-minute contest was going to be broadcast on ESPN Live. So, especially with the female world record at stake, I felt like there was kind of more pressure on me, more eyes on me than ever. So it was a really good year to have a good year.
Is there a food, Miki, that you will not touch, that you will not go near? You say absolutely not.
I've always said that I'd never eat crawfish or oysters on the competitive eating circuit or at a restaurant challenge for that matter. But a number of years ago, I was given the opportunity to travel to Ireland for 5 days in exchange for competing in a 3-minute oyster contest. And I just figured, you know, I would still, if I accepted the trip, I would have to give it my best. And it was more a challenge and not reversing. But I ate 160 something oysters in 3 minutes. That's the most that I'd ever eaten in my entire lifetime. And I'll probably never eat an oyster again.
I'm not an oyster guy. They look disgusting.
They're not aesthetically pleasing. The texture weirds me out. I'm not sold on it.
Actually take the oyster and like slurp it, or are they like out of it?
Oh no, we slurped them out of the half shell.
Wow.
I'm sure, but as far as oysters go, they were fine oysters, but again, not my thing.
I'm with you. And what about you, Nick?
Sauerkraut. Undoubtedly, I would not do a sauerkraut challenge. I just don't think I have an averse reaction to it. I would stand there. People would not be entertained by me. I would like sniff it. I would go, thank you for the invite, and I would be extremely polite. But I would not do sauerkraut. And then oysters. If you give me 5 days to Ireland, I'll eat as much sauerkraut as you want. Wow. But other than that, no, sauerkraut would be my number one, I'd say, food that I'm not going to do.
Do you hold any other world records, Miki?
So I hold the world record in kimchi, 8.5 pounds in, I believe, 8 minutes. I also hold the world record in ice cream. That was 16.5 pints, or just over 2 gallons in 6 minutes. How do you do that? I was full, but I was more cold and concerned about what was going on in my stomach than feeling discomfort. And then also, I recently competed in Minnesota for the world record in wild rice casserole, hot dish.
Everybody, if you want to follow Nick and Miki, you got to go to youtube.com/Miki Sudo. They're going to have some amazing videos. If you want to know what it's like to do food competitions, to train, to have it all in your belly, to feel the craziness, to feel like you're one of them, to feel like a competitor, to feel like you could eat a 110-pound burger, you got to go to their YouTube site. That's where it's all at.
Hey guys, it's Miki Sudo, top-ranked female competitive eater.
Nick Wehry, number 8 with Major League Eating. And you're watching Respect the Chain.